Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are in whatever time zone you happen to be in. I'm your host, Andrew McAllister. This is Desk Lunch, and this week we're going to be talking about accessibility. Good captions start with great audio. So and part of what inspired this week was the need to help somebody out who was trying to do burned-in captions for social, and they were looking at for a really simple way to do this. And I had to scratch my head about it, and as I'm doing now, I was scratching my head and thinking like, okay, well, what's a really like straightforward workflow? But then it also sort of raised a bunch of really good questions as to, how do you create good captions? And good captions start with great audio. So without further ado, I just want to acknowledge that in Toronto, Canada, at least, we're on the ancestral and traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat, who are the original owners and custodians on the land in which we live, work, and create. And it's good to acknowledge the folks who looked after this place before us, and who are it's their traditional territory. So Desk Lunch is a snack-sized freeform hangout for our design folks, ed tech people, and people who want to be creative and learn and help their learners. So really focused on educators, but there's lots in here that hopefully will help you as a creative person and think about audiences you're trying to reach, diverse communities and people you're trying to serve. And who am I? I'm the director of academic computing at OCAD University, and I love helping artists and designers educate the next generation of creatives. So again, this week on Desk Lunch, the inspiration was, again, how to ensure, your materials with the remote teaching and learning are accessible to your learners, but then also how to make sure your audio is legible, because good captions start with good audio. And then how to do burned in open captions for social. And really, actually, it's always good to, before I actually dive in and show you how to do this, I think there's a good need to understand why you should care about this. And what we're going to cover is, so settings for great audio. I've talked about this before. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail this time, and it's going to be a little bit wild and woolly today. I've got several different microphones set up here, and if you saw on Twitter, I've got a shotgun up here. I've got a couple of mics down here that are off camera, but I'm going to use my iPhone to show you those. And then also I'm going to show a little bit of captioning in Premiere Pro, and then how to burn those captions into your video and why you should do that. So first of all, this is something that my colleagues and I came up with at our institution. I just wanted to share this with others, just so you know the perspective as to why we would do something like this. So first of all, when OCAD University decided to go remote due to the pandemic, we wanted to make sure that all course materials were accessible to all learners who were also from a diverse group of backgrounds, and that learners could engage with the material whenever they could in order to complete their assignments, and that we wanted to give students flexible deadlines, and we knew that students would be all over the place. And so as a result, captions are actually really important, and especially in a variety of different contexts. One, obviously for people who are hearing impaired. So that's the obvious one. Secondly, for English language learners. And it's really important that we are accessible to as many people as possible, although because there are many, many creative people out there in the world who English might not be their first language, and having those visual cues will assist them in comprehension and understanding. And actually, what the research has shown is that, captions help all of us. Not just English language learners, they help native speakers as well too, because sometimes we mumble, we don't speak very clearly, sometimes I don't speak very clearly, sometimes I speak too quickly, and captions can help your audience better comprehend the content, because you're delivering that content in two formats then. You're delivering it using two of their senses, their vision by reading, they're reading and listening at the same time. So it reinforces the message. And in these days, anything that you can do to try and get your message across is really important. So I'm going to go over a couple of concepts, and then I'm going to dive into the details. So first of all, in order to generate captions, very often those captions need to be converted using artificial intelligence. Many people are using speech to text algorithms, whether you're using, regardless of the tool, whether it's Google's tools or TechSmith, Nomia, or Microsoft's speech to text AI. There's a million different AIs that are doing this. However, the audio quality that's coming into the AI has to be good already. Like it in order for the AI to comprehend what it is that you're saying. And the better generally that the audio quality you have, my impression is that, or my subjective experience is such that you get better captions as well too. First of all, we've said this before, you want to maximize signal to noise ratio. So you want to get as close to your mic as possible. Right now, my microphone is down here. And actually, maybe if I could, I'm just going to actually flip over. Oh, hey, Lisa Temple. Woo woo. Hey, Max. Just saying, just acknowledging the folks in the chat. I'm so glad you love the presentation design. I appreciate that. I put some effort into it. Some. It was my first go. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'll flip over just so you can see what I'm seeing. Actually, I'm going to use my iPhone as a camera. So let's actually just do that. Transition. Okay, this is going to be a bit weird, but I'm going to back up here. Whoa. What is even happening there? So what I've got is actually two microphones on my desk right now, and I'm going to talk about those later. And then I've also got a shotgun microphone up near the ceiling. I have a very low ceiling in this. I'm in a basement. But you can see when I sit forward, these are not visible on camera, but it's about this far away. Like we're actually reasonably close. Okay. You also want to minimize background noise. So I do have my laptop fans are running, and I also have an external graphics card, an eGPU, way back over there, which generates some noise. And thankfully my furnace is not running, but all of that stuff can contribute to kind of no fun experience. Just going to transition back. And what I'm going to go over is I'm going to say, basically, bottom line is no matter how much technology you have, even the simple stuff is going to be better. So even your earbuds with the inline microphone is going to be better than nothing at all. And I'm going to demo that. I also have at my disposal, and I'll flip over here back to the iPhone. I've got a Rode. This is the Video Micro. Oh, it's hiding behind the microphone stand. It's like a hunt. Here it is. It's got the dead cat on it right now, but it's sitting in front of my computer, and I thought I would show you what that sounded like as well too. And then talk about what I use, and then we'll go into a bit of post-production and an audition, and then you'll sort of quickly discover why kind of getting it right, like fixing it in post is no good. Oh my goodness, my camera just went off. Oh my goodness, what happened? Oh, hello, little camera. What happened to you? Oh, there you are. Oh, oh, there's nothing like a bit of fail to make you humble. So if this conks out again, I suspect it's the battery in the camera, which I'll just trot over there and grab another camera. So I'm going to go over kind of what kind of results you can get. Yeah, it's too strong. What kind of results you can get from these. Oh, it's conked out again. Okay, let's go. Now is the time for my technical difficulties. And we're back. Wow, that was amazing. Well, I actually turned that around reasonably fast. Okay, I really hope... Oh, I see what the problem is. Oh, goodness. So if you have a Fuji camera, you can power it via USB-C. So it's quite nice. I neglected to plug it in. So many cables and cords, as my wife likes to say. Anyway, so I'm going to show a little bit of the kinds of results that you can get from these different doodads, because my goodness, you can get on YouTube and it's just like an arms race of audio equipment. So let's just like be real about it. And I also wanted to go over a little bit more about, right, so why do you want to do captioning? So again, English language learners and hearing impaired folks, you know, they need captions, but also non-hearing impaired folks benefit from seeing captions as well too. And there's this really great article that I will post in the chat. And now I'm going to flip over to my web browser. And of course, it is not there. Hello, little web browser. Let us actually just show you the rising tide. How closed captions can benefit all students. So this is a really great EDUCAUSE article. And basically what it says, oh, thanks for letting me know about the cookies, is that students use closed captions. They help your, yeah, absolutely. For people who want to watch your video with the volume off too, and they help on social. Yeah, exactly. You put somebody's video on in the background and then, you know, you can just let it go. Okay, so we all get the idea. And there were also some other examples I had, like this fellow, you know, again, you know, our English language learners are very creative people and we want to be inclusive. And in the Adobe Design Achievement Awards a couple of years ago, Yiki Wang, who is one of our alumni,
without her help,
alumni from OCAD, who's an illustration student, got a special designation. And, you know, he's somebody or someone like him might truly benefit from these things. So let's actually flip back to actually doing this thing. Right. Right, and the stat there was that 90% of all students who use closed captions find them at least moderately helpful for learning. Okay, so no, that's not what we're going to do. Oh, God, yeah. Nope. This one. That one. Okay, forget that. All right, let's actually do this thing. So I'm going to flip over to, let's actually listen to some microphones. I think I've got on here, we're going to flip over to the computer, or maybe the main cam. Okay, so what you're listening to right now is a AKG C1000 small diaphragm condenser microphone. And I'm going to play back for you in Audition some examples of me reading various different phrases recorded with 3 different microphones, just so you can hear the example. But before I do that, what I want to show you, because these 3 examples are fairly high quality ones. They are the, again, let's use the iPhone. Come on, little iPhone. We know you want to show us the thing. Oh, I see. Oh, yes. Yes, I see. You have become disconnected and therefore you are full of sadness. One needs as many USB ports as one can afford. So what we've got here actually set up is I've got this AKG C1000. So this is a small diaphragm condenser microphone, probably from about the 90s. They still make it. It's in its version 4 now. It was meant to be kind of a Swiss Army knife for microphone. You can see the rather destroyed quality of the foam windscreen. Kind of sad. This is a condenser microphone. This is a dynamic microphone. So they work on 2 different principles. A dynamic microphone works much like a speaker in the sense that it's a moving coil with copper wrapped around it in a magnetic field that moves back and forth, that when you talk at it, it moves a diaphragm that then moves the coil that creates an electrical signal that then makes the sound. Whereas condenser microphones generally work under a principle of either a charged plate in a field, usually a thin foil of material, sometimes like a gold or other very lightweight material, and the principles behind them give you different results in the sense that dynamic microphones tend to provide a lot of noise rejection, more rejection of handling noise. So like think of singers, you know, grooving, it doesn't pick up the handling noise. As well, they do require more energy to move. So they tend to be less sensitive. However, sometimes you want that because it means less background noise. One of the challenges with highly sensitive microphones like this guy, the AKG C1000, a condenser microphone, is that they're very sensitive and they can pick up a lot of noise. And we're going to hear that when we play back some of the shotgun audio as well too. These small iPhone inline microphones, sometimes they use like a tiny carbon diaphragm. Actually, or like the Rode ones, they're more like an electric condenser, sort of similar principle. But anyway, let's hear what these things sound like. So I'm going to put this over here for now. Doop, 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 doop. And whoa, we're going to transition back to my screen. And first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I know that you're all enjoying the sound of my voice with this thing, but what I'm going to do is, if you're an educator who is like trying to record videos and so on directly into your laptop and you're not using your earbuds, let me just show you like how completely reasonable they are. So what I'm going to do is I've actually got many audio sources in the streaming software here. So I'm going to very dangerously. So now you should be hearing the sound from the earbuds. And actually, they're not bad. You can, and especially if your learners don't have to see you while you're recording audio and you move it up to your mouth, it's actually, oh, let's back that off a little bit. It's kind of blowing it out. I'm going to put it back down. Audio quality is not bad. Let's compare that with the Rode. The Rode. So I'm just going to switch over to the Rode. So here is the Rode video mic. I'm a little bit further away from it, so I'm just gonna lean over there. Hi everyone, and welcome. This is the Rode Video Micro, and this is the kind of results you should be able to expect from it. So these are two like reasonably accessible options for recording your audio. However, I digress. Let's actually look at some examples and then what you can do and why you may or may not want to do those things. So what I did was I recorded things with these three different microphones, and here we have this file in Audition. So I'm going to scrub a dub, and hopefully okay, I just need to make sure that Audition is outputting to, yes, black hole, multi-output device, yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. Oh, you know why? Haha. Day in April. There we go. I had it muted. Okay, great. So what I did was I read some George Orwell. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust. Now, these files are not normalized to any sort of level, so what I'm going to do first, actually, just so I can get a relative comparison, is I'm going to normalize them to the same level. So I'm going to go up here and go to my... Actually, sometimes I just usually... I like my favorites. Go to this audio file. I'm just going to normalize this to -3 dB. Whoop. Save that. Go to this audio file, normalize it to -3 dB, just so that they're all even in relative volume. Go back to my multi-track session. Striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of it, a colored poster, too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. It depicted simply an... Now, you notice that there was a difference between those three, and one of them was significant. So any guesses as to which one is which? So we have, again, there's the condenser, the dynamic, and then the shotgun above my head. Any guesses over there in the chat? Yeah, no, people are hanging. Anyway, no, okay. So what we're hearing here on track 3 is oh, and by the way, actually, I recorded this with a Zoom F4, which is a multi-track field recorder. It's a lovely device. I'm actually going to show it to you. Yeah, let's show it to you. Whoop. So there it is right there. It's just hanging out. And it has 4 inputs. So here are your XLR inputs here, and you can control your gain volume here, which is quite nice. So right now you're hearing me through the AKG C1000. I'm going to flip back to my computer. So what we're hearing here is actually the shotgun. So let's actually listen to that again. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin... So you can hear we're getting like a ton of room tone there, and this is, to me, in terms of experience, like, it's not significantly different than the sound that you would get from people speaking into their laptops for sessions. It's not great. And it's about, I had a tape measure around here. It's about that far away, which is probably what's recommended. I could actually move it down a little bit. We're going to lower the boom until it's almost in the frame. And if you actually want to hear what that sounds like, I'm actually going to show you right now. No, it doesn't want to do it for me. Oh, how strange. How strange. In any case, trust me, it's this is what it sounds like. Nuzzled into his breast. The other microphone that we heard, in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of it, a colored poster, too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. It depicted simply an enormous face, more than a meter wide, the face of a man of about 45. So what's interesting, okay, so track 1 is actually, what you're hearing is the AKG C1000, the condenser microphone, and then track 2 is the EV RE320, which is a dynamic microphone, actually designed... It's based on an original sort of broadcast microphone, but this one was pulled out for podcasting, but then also for, you know, if you want to mic a kick drum or something crazy like that, like a drum set. You'll notice that actually it sounds pretty great, and it actually rejects a lot of noise. With a heavy black mustache and ruggedly handsome features, Winston made for the stairs. It was no use trying the lift. I really like the sound of it. The issue is that it does have a little bit of sibilance, and so much so that I find that somewhat distracting, even though in every other aspect it's almost better. And just from a practical perspective, it's just a little bit of a nightmare to have on a mic stand because it's so front heavy. So for example, if I were to, I'm just going to grab my iPhone again. Oh, there we go. The problem is that it's very front heavy and it droops sometimes. Like it'll just like clonk. Yeah, not the greatest from that perspective. And yeah, the sibilance, not ideal either. Okay. So the top one is the AKG C1000. Even at the best of times, it was seldom working. Now, the question is, what if my audio is like not great and I need to do something about it? So like, let's pretend all I've got is this. And at present, the electric current was cut off and you have to fix it in post. What a total drag. So you can open this file and actually reduce the noise in Audition. Audition actually does a pretty fantastic job. The issue becomes that you get some aliasing or strange artifacts if you try and be too aggressive about it. So what I'm going to do is listen to some noise. That sounds sort of fairly representative. And I'm going to capture a noise print. The current audio selection will be captured and loaded as a noise print for the use the next time the noise reduction effect is launched. Okay. I love that. Then I want to process. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I do that, I'm just going to deselect that one bit because I want to apply this to the whole file. Noise reduction, process. Okay. I admit, the controls in this dialogue are fairly intimidating. However, in a nutshell, if you just set this noise reduction to about 50%, and set the amount of noise reduction as a start at 10 dB, that's probably reasonable. Any extreme on this slider is going to give you not great results. If you go to 100%, while it does aggressively try to attack the noise, it degenerates the original quality of the sound. And actually, we can listen to that, I believe. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty... So actually, what's good there is we have been able to reduce some of the noise, although... You know, back in the day when we listened to nothing but MP3s, well, I guess it's true with even streaming services, those low quality like MP3s or whatever, they have that kind of like slightly swirling sound to them that is really unattractive. I'm hearing a little bit of that, and it's a bit distracting and unpleasant. Clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind. Almost like you're talking down a pipe or something. Anyway, the point that needs to be made is, even with all these magical tools, it still sounds like I'm talking in a room, which is unpleasant. Slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty... I'm going to apply that selection just to show you how much noise you can reduce. Blammo! Look, it's gone. I cannot believe it. It was a bright, cold day in April. So let's actually we'll just save that just for argument's sake. We'll go back to our session. Let's solo that and listen to it again and compare it with the other results. Day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him. The hallway smelt of boiled cabbage and old rag mats. At one end of it, a colored poster, too large for indoor display, had been tacked to the wall. It depicted simply an enormous face, more than a meter. It still sounds worse. So, lesson is, whatever microphone you use, well, first of all, use a microphone, even if it's a pair of earbuds, and actually I guess I can take these out of my ears now. Just get it close to your mouth. It's just going to sound better, and you don't have to fix it in post, and you don't have to worry about using Adobe Audition. All right, problem solved. Okay, so we're going to back out of that for the time being. And, we're going to ignore that for the time being. So the second part of it is, let's say now you've got some great audio, you've recorded something, and you want to create captions for that thing. And then you want to burn those captions in. And why would you want to do this? So you would want to do this for, again, a couple of reasons. One of them is that you're sharing it on social, and you want those captions to come up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever platform you're using, such that users do not have to click the CC button, or perhaps closed captioning isn't supported in that context. And either it's a snack-sized piece of content or perhaps something a bit longer, or you want to do it for an effect, many different reasons. So first of all, you need to generate a caption file. I'm not going to go into how to do that necessarily, but what I will do is show you what that caption file might look like. The first example, amphetamine is keeping my computer awake. Thank you, amphetamine. I'm just going to put you to sleep. The simplest way is that you could throw your video up onto YouTube in a unlisted or private video, have it generate the captions, and then download the caption file. And what that will look like, and I'm just going to browse to my Creative Cloud folder. Yes. Perhaps for the rest of this, I shall switch to the, yes, now I'm switched to the RA320. You can see how luxurious that sounds. And then hear the sibilance that drives me nuts. Caption file, generally SRT, well, there's a million different formats, but the one from YouTube is generally SRT. Just going to open BB Edit and open this file just so you can see what it looks like. Oh, some HTML there. Very good. So this is a video, this was like an outtake that I did, not a terribly exciting video. It's about my cat who wanted to fight the raccoons outside. I was actually working on something and then became distracted. In any case, an SRT file will look generally like this, where each caption will be numbered. You probably can't see that. Let's make it big. Whoop. Ah. Let's make it big. How do I make it big in BB Edit? Preferences. Ah, yes. Yes, editing. No. Appearance. Yes, no, no, no. Text encodings. Text, no. Okay, forget it. Believe me. It's tiny. It will have a number, and then it will have a timecode reference from where that caption is meant to appear, and then the caption itself, and then a carriage return, and then the next caption. It's pretty basic. Premiere Pro is great because you can take this file and it will import it into Premiere Pro, and then you can burn those captions in. So first of all, let's watch the original video just so that we have some sense of Casper the Cat. And I just want to hear this for my own reference. Take two. Let's make sure it's recording. Snoop and doop and doop doop snoop. Why did it? Whoa, that was weird. Casper's trying to fight with the raccoons. Oh my god. He wanted to fight the raccoons. Little pussy cat wanted to fight the raccoons. Yeah. I understand, but, you know, 5 to 1 aren't good odds for you.
5 to 1?
I'm recording.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Come on through.
Is there a pair of headphones that I can buy for you?
Oh, my lord, child.
I'm sorry, but this is for your benefit, Father.
Yeah, actually, that's true. So what's funny about this is that I say a bunch of things in this video that they're not really words, and also I move away from the microphone and they become less comprehensible, and so on and so forth. And so it's great to have captions for that reason. So what you can do is actually import that SRT file. What I did notice is that the SRT, I shall not name the application that generated this SRT file, but the app that generated it, Premiere was really unhappy about it, and I discovered that there were 2 carriage returns at the top of the SRT file, like there were 2 returns up here, And when I removed the returns, it was way okay with it then. I was like, oh, fine then. So I'm just going to quit out of BB Edit. So when we're in Premiere Pro, we've got this video. What I did was actually create a duplicate of this sequence. So I just used the good old duplicate, gave it a different name, and put it in here. And what you can see is that it comes in as a separate file. So actually, I'm going to actually go through the steps that I actually did to create this. So I'll create another copy. I'm going to call this subtitles stream. Scroll to the bottom. Open. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to locate my caption file. I'm going to say import. Created cloud files, desk lunch, week 4, SRT, import files, boop. And then it comes in as a clip. And then if I double click on this clip, there is a caption editor. Whoa! That's the capture one. Hold on. Hang on. Oh, it's over here on the right. Completely confused myself. So here are the captions. So you can see it's got an in and out. And when you import this SRT file, it's actually different. You get a slightly different experience because this is expecting that you want to create open captions, meaning, so closed captions are the ones that are hidden and then are revealed. Open captions are the ones that are burned into the video. And as a result, Premiere Pro gives you some options around how you want those to appear, which is nice. If you import, for example, a different file format of caption, like an SCC file, which you probably don't need to worry about because you would probably not have one of these files, but hey, it's one of the formats that Premiere Pro supports. You get captions that look like this.
Too.
Oh, no. Why am I not seeing them?
Take 2.
Oh, how interesting.
That's me.
Oh, now I'm not seeing them. Oh, so sad. Let's actually go to my stream ones. Let's actually copy these ones over. Oh, right. Sorry. Haha! To show the captions, you have to do a couple of things. First of all, in the caption editor here, or the button editor, you need to make sure that you have this button here so that you can actually enable and show the captions. Bloop. And then also click this and say close captions display enabled.
Take 2.
Still not showing them. Bizarre.
Take 2. 2.
Still not showing them. Closed captions display enabled settings. Yep. Let's have another look. Yep. Very good. No cats were harmed in the making of this video, I want you to know. Oh, it's the wrong format. That's why.
Take 2.
There we go. So if you import the videos, the captions in one of these,
make sure it's
oh God, in one of these other formats that are more closely aligned with standards-based closed captions, you have no control over how these captions look. That's not what you want. So you really want captions that are imported using SRT, because then, oops. Because then when you drag the SRT file over, as I indicated, double click, look, I've got font settings, which is exactly what I want to do. And of course, I'm not, everyone has various feelings about Helvetica, classic, but we're going to use Futura. Oh, Futura. And there's some little peculiarities with this dialog. So first of all, if I want to change all my captions, I need to scroll down and select all of them. Scroll to the top, scroll to the bottom, select all, multiple. I'm going to select Futura. And actually, just for the purposes of this demo, I'm gonna pull this dialogue out and actually put it over here because it's a real nuisance. Oh no, I don't want it up there. There we go. Something like that. Ooh, oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Oh, I like that. All right, very good. And you can see that they're tiny, so we need to size them up a little bit. 55. Now, do we want them on a black background? Probably not. So we can change that. We can actually get, well, really we want them on no background. And we want the text color to be white. Very good. But I also did give them an edge color. Whoop. So I give them a black or gray edge color. And maybe not quite so much edge. And make it, I thought, you know, like 50% transparent. Because if it's on a very light background, like you can see on my shirt, even the legibility starts to be affected. What's great as well too, though, or it's good to know, is when you export these captions, you then probably need to edit when they appear on screen. And this is what these controls are giving me down here in Premiere Pro. So I'm just gonna actually extend this out.
Take two.
But then I want that caption to go away, right? So I can grab these handles, and now the caption is gone.
Let's make sure it's recording. Schnoop and doop and doop doop schnoop.
Now, I think I was actually saying schnoop. I don't know why. But, you know, for accuracy's sake, I can go in here and actually edit these captions so that they accurately reflect reality. And so on and so forth. Why did it? Whoa, that was weird. Now I want that caption to go away, so I can pull that in. That's good. Casper's trying to fight with the raccoons. Now, if I want to remove this caption because there's no speech detected, I could just select the caption and hit delete, and it's gone. Handy dandy. I can also tell Premiere Pro that I would like the captions to appear in a particular position block. So I can say, oh, I would like this left justified. Or of course, it will only affect the particular caption you selected. Like, for example, here's some other strange oddities. In this caption editor, if I put this, this is wrong, pussycat. If I make a change to this text, actually, I'll pick another line here. Let's go forward. If I select this text, you can see that these are off the screen. Like, it doesn't wrap by itself, so I need to manage the wrapping. If I select this bottom text, I can independently control the size of that text, which is, I guess, helpful if you need it, a bit strange if you're not expecting it to do that. So just be aware that you have to select all the lines of text and then you can control them all at once. But it does mean that you can control each line of text independently. This becomes particularly acute when you export this video to other formats. So I'll show you how to export this for square formats as well too. In any case, you kind of get the idea. When I go to export this and I say export media, there's a very important option I need to select. Where's my export window? Oh, I need to select the sequence. My goodness. Oh, select the sequence. Select the captions tab. Burn captions into video. Boom. Okay. If you select create sidecar file, it will subrip file as SRT, I believe. And but we don't want that. We want to burn captions into the video. Right? Very good. We like that. Select a location. All right. I love that. And export. And while that is doing its thing, we shall have a sip of tea. Delicious. Cold. So the next step might be that you have this video and you then say, I want to export this to Square format. You might be asking me, why don't you do this in Premiere Rush? Well, if the video was only 55 seconds long, certainly I could use Premiere Rush. You would need to manually put in all the captions as titles, and there would be no automation. So if it was something short, fine, fair enough, it would be good. And you could animate those captions, which would be nice too. But there's, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, and I'm happy for people to tell me otherwise, it's not a feature that's necessarily supported in Rush yet. But maybe someone will see this video and they'll say, my goodness, we should support that ability. You know what would be great in Rush? If it had speech to text built in, did the AI built in, then slapped the captions on the video for you in a style that you wanted. Wouldn't that be great? I think it would be great. Anyway, I'm going to take this out of my ear now. Oh, it's so odd having those things in your ears for long periods of time. So yes. Okay, great. So we got that, and we can, just to show you what that looks like, I'm going to navigate toward the file. Actually, why don't I be lazy? Sometimes I'm always like, where is that directory? Well, I could just right click on here and say, where is it? Show me and find edited export media. Where is it? Oh, it's a sequence, right? Sorry, you have to do it on an actual video file. These ones are missing. Reveal in Finder. Reveal it to me. Wah, there it is. Okay. And here's my stream file. I'm just gonna open
Take
that.
two.
There we go. And they're burned in. Wonderful. So happy with that. Except now I want to make it square. So in which case, what you can do is, again, duplicate the sequence and then use the auto reframe sequence. Except it's great because it reframes the video. You still need to fix the captions because you'll notice they will not wrap. Like there's no auto wrapping of that content. You need to fix that yourself. So in here, I'm going to scroll up. Schnoopy doop doop doop. Doop. See what I mean? Like you just have to go through and reset those. Okay. And then once you're happy with that, just make sure that when you export, you, again, bad example, but I'm just trying to make the point. When you do pick your export format in video, just make sure you match source so that it does maintain square format. This is the way I feel a lot these days with this look on my face. I shouldn't say that. Yes, sometimes things are a little challenging. And make sure that under the captions dialog, I've select burn captions into video. Very good. And just like a cooking show, I can browse to my computer. Ray, video. OCAD, canvas cloud.
Take two.
Nope,
Take two.
not that one.
Take two.
Oh, I did have, oh yeah,
Take two.
there we go. I did actually reformat it last night. There we go. And here's an example of where I think I had text in different sizes on different lines. Anyway. And I think, you know, that's almost just about it. So I'm just going to flip back to the old keynote. I want to thank everybody for joining Desk Lunch today. Stay safe and stay sane out there. I know a lot of people are going through a lot of really challenging things these days, not just with coronavirus, but the fires in California. and a number of other challenges that people are facing, and back to school for educators and students alike. So I want everybody to I wish you all the best, and I hope you have a great semester of learning and teaching. And I hope this was useful. I'm always happy to hear from people. I'm on social media. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can also find my email address in various different places. I'm happy to hear directly from people. Actually, maybe I'll share it in the chat during the closing titles. And happy to hear how this could be better and better serve you. All right. And with that, let's hit the outro.